Was the ultimate work jacket perfected in the 1800s? Well, today we're looking at the good, better, and best chore coats. Welcome, I'm Murawski, and this is the channel that helps you own less and own better. For over a century, the chore coat has been the go-to work jacket for millions of people across the world. Now, typically, a chore coat, like this LC King one that I have on right here, has 4 pockets in the front, 2 large open-topped hip pockets, 2 chest pockets, sometimes 1 open top and 1 flapped, as you see right here, a button closure, and a simple pointed collar. They're very, very simple, and actually, they have their origins in France. Now, today you can find chore coats in almost every fabric imaginable, all the way from leather to cotton to duck canvas. And they're so useful that basically anybody from almost any walk of life can use them. You want to use something, out in your yard just for doing chores? It's a chore coat, why not? If you're working in a factory, if you're working in the field, there is a chore coat that will probably fit your budget and your style. But like any enduring garment that's been available for a while, there's junk out there and there are decent ones out there. So we're gonna go through the good, better, and the best chore coats ranging from $20 to over $6,000. Who would buy that? The good. Now here we have some fast fashion brands reimagining the chore coat in trimmer cuts, along with some of the more affordable workwear brands producing no-frills basics. The good tier is a great place to start if you're not entirely sure if the chore coat is something that's going to work for you or if it's something you'll only use on occasion. Uniqlo, the fast fashion brand that I really don't like, has a U overshirt, which is very much like a chore coat, for $20. Red Cap has an option for $20 as well. Prison Blues, which is a company that I'm very interested in and want to cover a little bit more in the future, has an option for $50. The Dockers chore coat can be yours for $80. The Gap chore coat can be yours for $90. The better category is where you'll find well-made workwear and even some entry-level denim head options. As per usual, this is my favorite tier because you tend to get a lot of value. The Carhartt option is a classic, but I own a Patagonia workwear chore coat in their hemp denim and an LC King in their classic brown duck canvas. Between the two, I actually prefer the Patagonia since it has a few significant upgrades, like the fleece-lined hand warmer pockets designed into the hip pockets. It's the jacket that I have hanging in my garage at all times, ready to be put to work in the yard or around the house. The LC King is probably a better made coat overall, but it tends to be a little bit restricting since there are no gussets or anything like that. It's difficult to work overhead or when doing any kind of reaching or stretching, so this one gets worn far less. I also want to mention this Heatstraps Truckman chore coat. It's a crazy high value chore coat being made in the USA, insulated, and like its big brother, the Chief's coat, it's a true workwear piece which is built well and priced reasonably at $165. Now, I also want to mention that the Tellison and Railcar examples are borderline between the better and best categories. They're exceptionally well made and for most people will be good looking enough and functional enough to be the last chore coat you'll ever need or want. So the Carhartt example can be yours for $90. The LC King is actually pretty damn expensive for what it is at $165. The Patagonia workwear, which actually has some pretty cool upgrades and snazzy little features, can be yours for $179. The Tellison, which in my opinion might be the sleeper of this whole bunch here, could be yours for $198. And the Railcar Fine Goods chore coat for $220. Now, if you want the best chore coats that money can buy, here they are. The Chiano Farmer example is a fantastic small shop example, and I've personally lusted over the Ironheart jacket for years now. As usual, the cost is in the details at this tier, but if you're willing to part with the cash, the world is your oyster. Both artisanal examples can be found here, along with some luxury fashion examples. Of course, price isn't always indicative of quality, but it is a good guide. Orslo has a really cool looking chore coat for $385. One of my favorite brands, Real McCoy's, has an example for $387. Ironheart, of course, has one for $425. Essence has a chore coat for $1,075. And finally, Visvim has a $6,610 chore coat. Now, a little bonus to this series is to go with a vintage French example if you want the real deal old school model. Or you could go ahead and try to find one of the original Carhartt chore coats with their signature heart-shaped buttons on the secondhand market. Since this style of coat has been around for so long, the vintage market is full of awesome stuff. Now, if you'd like to see more from this Good, Better, Best series, which I hope you do, and I hope that you got some value out of, go ahead and check this out right here. There's a playlist with all the Good, Better, Best that I've done until recently and hopefully into the future. So I'll keep adding to that. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time.